side by side with 60 metres to go. They're still side by side with 50. Lyles trying to find something. He stretches away. It is.
Noah Lyles just did something that seemed impossible for over a decade. He matched Usain Bolt's legendary record of 4 straight World Championship 200-meter gold medals and then immediately promised to destroy it.
Of course. It's number 4, baby!
On Friday night in Tokyo, Lyles crossed the finish line in 19.52 seconds, holding up 4 fingers to a roaring crowd of nearly 59,000 people. The same stadium where he struggled just 4 years ago during the COVID Olympics had now become the place where he made history. But Lyles wasn't satisfied with just matching the great Jamaican's record. "I can't wait for 2027 to become the only man to win 5 200-meter titles," Lyles declared right after his victory. Those words sent shockwaves through the athletics world. The man who many consider the current king of sprinting had just declared war on Bolt's legacy. Let's break down exactly what happened in this incredible race and why it matters so much for the future of sprinting. The race itself was a masterclass in tactical running from Lyles. Running from lane 6, he faced a stacked field that included 5 of the 8 finalists from last year's Olympics. His biggest threat came from his own teammate Kenny Bednarek in lane 8, a man who has finished second to Lyles more times than he probably cares to remember. From the start, it looked like it might be Bednarek's night. The American was leading at 50 meters, 40 meters, 30 meters, 20 meters, and even at 10 meters to go. Young Jamaican Bryan Levell had actually taken the early lead off the curve, splitting the first 100 meters in 10.03 seconds. But anyone who's watched Lyles race knows that's exactly when he becomes most dangerous. "I studied my competitors," Lyles said after the race. "I knew their momentum was going to slow up once we got closer to 150 meters, but mine was going to build up after I hit that mark. Being patient was the most important thing. I controlled the race." That patience paid off in spectacular fashion. In the final 20 meters, Lyles unleashed his signature closing speed, sweeping past Bednarek to claim gold by 0.06 of a second. Bednarek took silver in 19.58, while 21-year-old Bryan Levell grabbed bronze in a personal best 19.64, giving Jamaica their first men's 200-meter World Championship medal since Bolt's dominance ended in 2015. For Lyles, this victory was about more than just winning another gold medal. It was about redemption. The same Tokyo stadium where he now celebrated had been the site of one of the lowest points in his career during the 2021 Olympics. "I don't have good memories from Tokyo in 2021, Lyles admitted. "At that time, I was depressed, but this time, I am energized. I love what I do, and I am happy." The contrast couldn't be more dramatic. In 2021, Lyles competed in an empty stadium due to COVID restrictions, managing only a bronze medal while dealing with mental health struggles. Now, 4 years later, his face was plastered all over Tokyo, and he was feeding off the energy of a packed crowd. He said, "My face is blasted everywhere over Tokyo. This is amazing and such a joyous moment I am going to keep with me forever." But the road to this moment hadn't been easy. Lyles had struggled with injuries early in the season, dealing with groin inflammation that delayed the start of his outdoor campaign. He had to cram races into his schedule just to get sharp for Tokyo, and it showed during the 100 meters earlier in the week, where he could only manage bronze behind 2 Jamaican sprinters. That 100-meter disappointment seemed to light a fire under Lyles. In Thursday's 200-meter semifinals, he ran 19.51 seconds, the fastest semifinal time in World Championship history. It was a statement that said loud and clear, "The 200 meters belongs to me." The final was just 1/100th of a second slower at 19.52, making it the 11th time in his career that Lyles has broken the 19.60 barrier. For context, that's faster than most sprinters will ever run in their entire careers. What makes Lyles' achievement even more impressive is the company he now keeps. Only one other man in history has won 4 straight World Championship 200-meter titles, Usain Bolt, who did it from 2009 to 2015. Bolt is widely considered the greatest sprinter who ever lived, holding world records in both the 100 and 200 meters that seem almost untouchable. But Lyles isn't content with just matching Bolt's record. His immediate declaration about winning a 5th title in 2027 shows the confidence and ambition that has defined his career. At 28 years old, he's still in his prime, and the next World Championships in Beijing represents his chance to step out of Bolt's shadow once and for all. The rivalry with teammate Kenny Bednarek adds another layer to this story. Bednarek now has 4 consecutive global silver medals in the 200 meters, 2 from World Championships and 2 from Olympics. After the race, his frustration was clear. "I don't like being second," Bednarek said. "I've been second for what, 5 years, 6 years now? So I've got to clean some things up. I'll look back at the tape and see what I can do to be better." The relationship between these two Americans has been tense at times. At the U.S. trials, they nearly came to blows when Lyles stared down Bednarek after beating him, leading to Bednarek shoving his teammate. Yet they continue to push each other to faster times, creating one of the most compelling rivalries in modern sprinting. The broader implications of this race extend beyond just individual achievements. Jamaica's medal drought in the men's 200 meters finally ended thanks to Bryan Levell's bronze medal performance. The 21-year-old ran a massive personal best of 19.64 seconds, signaling that a new generation of Jamaican sprinters might be ready to challenge for global honors. Meanwhile, Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo from Botswana could only manage 4th place in 19.65 seconds despite running a season-best time. Tebogo has been dealing with knee problems, and his struggles in Tokyo show that staying at the top of sprinting is never guaranteed. Lyles' dominance in the 200 meters has been remarkable for its consistency. Since winning his first world title in Doha in 2019, he has won every single World Championship 200-meter final he's entered. That's 4 straight golds across 6 years, with victories in Doha, Eugene, Budapest, and now Tokyo. Each victory has had its own character. Doha was his breakthrough moment, announcing himself as Bolt's successor. Eugene was a home victory in front of American fans. Budapest showed his ability to perform under pressure as the established favorite. And Tokyo was about redemption and setting up future history. The technical aspects of Lyles' running continue to improve with age. His ability to accelerate in the final 50 meters of the 200 is unmatched in the current era. While other sprinters fade or tighten up under pressure, Lyles seems to find another gear just when it matters most. "I knew some of the guys were going to tighten up, but I just stayed relaxed and got the job done," he explained, describing the mental approach that has made him so successful. Looking ahead to 2027, Lyles will be 30 years old when he attempts to break Bolt's record. That's not old for a sprinter, especially one who has taken care of his body and continues to improve technically. The Beijing World Championships will represent his chance to make history and establish himself as the greatest 200-meter runner of his generation.
I mean, everyone does their own business, but apart from Lyles, he pretty much puts me under his wing, so he's a great guy, and he's the only one I pretty much need for sure. Obviously lucky.
Gout Gout just said that Noah Lyles puts him under his wing, and the 17-year-old Australian has everyone in athletics talking. At his first World Championships, this teenager didn't just survive, he made it look easy. The hype around Gout Gout has been building for months. This isn't just another promising teenager. We're talking about someone who holds the Australian 200-meter record at just 17 years old, running 20.02 seconds back in June. To put that in perspective, that's the second fastest time ever run by someone under 18. Ever. But here's the thing about hype. It can crush you when it matters most. And Wednesday night at Japan's National Stadium was the moment that mattered most. Gout's first major international race, the World Championships. The biggest stage in athletics outside of the Olympics. Walking into that stadium, Gout knew all eyes were on him. The comparisons to Usain Bolt have been constant, and for good reason. Same tall frame, same upright running style, same explosive finishing kick. But comparisons only get you so far when the gun goes off. Speaking about the pressure before his race, Gout kept it simple. He said,
"Even though this is the biggest stage in the world, you just gotta go out there, treat it like a training session, and just go out there and have some fun."
Easy to say, harder to do when you're in lane 8 with 50,000 people watching your every move. The race itself told an interesting story. When the gun fired, Jamaica's Bryan Levell took off like a rocket. This guy means business. He's run 19.69 seconds this year and wasn't about to let some teenager steal his thunder. Levell caught up to Gout on the inside and pulled ahead around the bend. For a moment, it looked like the pressure might be getting to the young Australian. He was stuck behind the field, and Zimbabwe's Makana Kaishe Charamba was making his move too. But then something clicked for Gout. "The start's obviously not my strong suit, but as soon as I get into running, I'm chilling," Gout explained after the race. And that word, chilling, perfectly captures what happened next. Instead of panicking, instead of forcing it, Gout found his rhythm and started moving through the field. By the time they hit the home straight, it was clear that Gout belonged. He powered past several runners and secured third place with a time of 20.23 seconds. Not his personal best, but more than good enough to automatically qualify for the semifinals. Here's where it gets interesting, though. After crossing the line, Gout looked completely relaxed. While other athletes were bent over, gasping for air, he was standing tall, barely breathing hard. When asked about it, he was brutally honest about his strategy. "I felt that in my heat, everyone wasn't up against me apart from the top two, so I just hit cruise control the last 50, last 30, and just got the big Q. That's what I needed," he said. Think about that for a second. This kid analyzed the race mid-sprint, realized he had third place locked up, and decided to save energy for the next round. That's not teenage thinking, that's veteran racecraft. But let's talk about that relationship with Noah Lyles. The American superstar, who's chasing his fourth straight world title in the 200 meters, has apparently taken Gout under his wing. This isn't just some casual mentorship either. Lyles advanced to the semis with a smooth 19.99, looking every bit the champion he is. Lyles has been vocal about wanting to grow the sport, and taking a rising star like Gout Gout under his wing makes perfect sense. The American knows what it's like to handle pressure and expectations, something Gout is definitely learning about. "It's a great experience for me running against the big dogs," Gout said, and you could hear the genuine excitement in his voice. "Some of them I admired when I was younger, so I'm just focusing on my lane." The semifinal draw, however, presents a massive challenge. Gout landed in what might be the toughest heat possible. He'll face Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo from Botswana, plus that same Bryan Levell who outran him in the heats. 5 of the 9 runners in his semifinal have broken 20 seconds before. Only 2 advance automatically, with 2 more advancing on time. The math is brutal. Gout's 20.23 ranked him 12th overall in the heats. To make the final, he'll likely need to run under 20 seconds for the first time in legal win conditions. His previous sub-20 times were all win-assisted and don't count for records. Sub-20, that's the goal. So let's see in the semi. Gout said with the confidence that's become his trademark. "Just run with freedom. Free hit and just go out. Run like a horse. Run like the wind." That confidence isn't misplaced either. Looking at the technical side of his heat race, Gout actually had the best reaction time at 0.144 seconds. His start wasn't the problem. It was his positioning coming off the turn. World Athletics timing showed him dead last at the 30-meter mark, which makes his recovery even more impressive. The Usain Bolt comparisons keep coming, but Gout has already done something Bolt couldn't. When Bolt made his major championship debut at the 2004 Olympics, he was eliminated in the first round. Gout advanced on his first try. "He is the GOAT," Gout said about Bolt, who was actually in the stadium watching. "He's the athlete everyone looks up to, so I just gotta keep looking up to him and try to be like him." What makes this story even better is Gout's background. His parents fled South Sudan during the Civil War, eventually settling in Australia in 2006. Now their son is representing Australia at the World Championships, running times that would have won gold medals just a few decades ago. The kid is still in high school, too. He'll return to Ipswich Grammar School after these championships to finish his final exams. Most 17-year-olds are worried about prom and graduation. Gout is out here running against the fastest men on the planet and holding his own. Australia's sprinting program is clearly doing something right. Tori Lewis also advanced to the 200-meter semifinals on the women's side, running a personal best 22.56 seconds. She finished second in her heat behind Britain's Dina Asher-Smith, showing that Australia's sprint future is bright across the board. The semifinal takes place Thursday night at 10:09 p.m. Australian time. Gout will line up in lane 4, right in the thick of the action. The pressure will be enormous, but if Wednesday night taught us anything, it's that this kid thrives under pressure. "Obviously, there's going to be expectation wherever I go," Gout acknowledged. "I've just got to get out there and do my thing and have a bit of fun." Whether he makes the final or not, Gout Gout has already made his mark. He's shown he belongs on the biggest stage, earned the respect of established champions like Noah Lyles, and given athletics fans around the world a glimpse of what the future holds. The relationship with Lyles could be huge for Gout's development. Having a mentor who's been through the pressure, who knows what it takes to win at the highest level, that's invaluable for a young athlete. And if Lyles really is taking him under his wing, then Gout's learning from the absolute best. Thursday's semifinal will tell us a lot about what kind of athlete Gout Gout really is. Can he handle the pressure when the margins get even smaller? Can he find that extra gear needed to run under 20 seconds? Most importantly, can he prove that all the hype is justified? One thing's for sure, the athletics world will be watching, and based on what we saw Wednesday night, Gout Gout is ready for whatever comes next. Whether he's chilling at the finish line or running like the wind down the home straight, this kid has already shown he's something special.
It's all about getting everything right. You know what I mean? It's never just easy. It's always easier when you're younger because I was there. I used to do great things when I was young, but...
A warning from the fastest man alive has shocked the track world. Usain Bolt isn't staying quiet, and his message is clear. He's talking straight to 17-year-old sprint star Gout Gout. As the hype around the young Aussie explodes, Bolt's words have fans and experts on edge, wondering what the legend sees coming next. Gout has been turning heads and smashing records, with some in Australia already whispering Olympic gold in 2032. But Bolt has just issued a reality check that has fans and experts holding their breath. Talent alone isn't enough, Bolt declared in Tokyo ahead of the upcoming World Championships. It's never just easy. That message cuts through the hype, because while Gout's times are electrifying, Bolt knows better than anyone what it really takes to transform early promise into world domination. Born in Ipswich, Queensland in 2007, Gout Gout has quickly risen from local school meets to the global spotlight. At just 16, he ran 20.04 seconds in the 200 meters, shattering a national record that had stood since 1968. A few months later, he lowered it again to 20.02 at the Ostrava Golden Spike meet in June. And if that wasn't enough, he's clocked 2 wind-assisted sub-20-second times, 19.84 and 19.98. While not legal due to tailwind thresholds, these runs proved one thing. Gout has the raw speed to compete with the best. He now ranks in the top 7 all-time globally for under-20s in the 200 meters. And remember, he's still in high school. Australian media have already crowned him the future of sprinting. Coaches call him the real deal. Fans are comparing his stride and style to none other than Bolt himself. But is the pressure too much too soon? The comparisons are inevitable. Gout's upright running form, high knee lift, and explosive acceleration are eerily similar to Bolt's legendary style. Gout even acknowledged the parallels in an interview, saying, "Although I do run like Usain Bolt, I do maybe look like him in a couple of ways. I'm just trying to be myself." But Bolt's message was anything but romantic. He's very talented with the times he's running now, Bolt said, but the transition from junior to senior is always tougher. Bolt emphasized that talent, while vital, is only one piece of the puzzle. What matters more is what surrounds it. Coaching, focus, mental resilience, and the ability to deal with pressure. It's all about getting everything right, Bolt explained. It's all about if you get the right coach, the right people around you, if you're focused enough. Coming from anyone else, this might have sounded like generic advice. But Bolt isn't just a retired sprinter, he's the gold standard of track success. He set the world ablaze by breaking the 100-meter and 200-meter world records and winning double Olympic gold in Beijing at age 22. And he knows firsthand how brutal the leap to elite competition can be. Bolt himself didn't dominate globally until he was well into his 20s. Before that, he faced his own setbacks, injuries, and growing pains. Gout, meanwhile, is already being thrown into the fire. He's set to debut at the World Championships in Tokyo this week, going head-to-head with the likes of Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarek in the 200 meters. And that's where Bolt's concern comes in. Because for all the praise and records, Gout is still a teenager. Gout Gout isn't just competing, he's also juggling high school, media requests, fan expectations,